Alright, welcome back everyone to another deadrails video, and today we're going to be doing another bonds farming video. And we are on the latest update here where they have added a couple new trains. So we are using the vampire class in this run. As you guys know, I do love the vampire class. I think it's pretty OP, and you know, you can survive pretty easily with this. You can easily farm some bonds using this class. And also with this new update, they have added sprinting into the game. So if you guys press left shift, you do move at a much faster rate now. But it is not unlimited, you know, you'll run out of stamina eventually. But it's a good thing they've added sprint in this game, because even without, because before usually it would be just pretty much the vampire class where you have increased movement speed just in general. And I think the werewolf as well, without anything happening. But now any class can at least sprint for a little bit, because these werewolves, they can just catch up to you very easily. So what the plan is, we're going to go through as many point of interest as possible, get all the bonds that we can find in each build, like point of interest, also go through all the banks, raid that, and we'll see how many bonds we can actually end up with here. Guys, I do live in the UK and it is very hot right now, so if you guys hear a fan in the background, I'm sorry, but I do need it, or I'm gonna just boil and die. So that is our mission, and we're also starting off with 90 bonds here today. So let's see how much we can get with this new update, especially how the previous update they have added Stillwater Prison. So let's get on and let's move to the first town. The only drawback with this train, you do move at a much faster rate at 75. It does also use up a little bit less fuel, but nothing considerate, but there is just no defense around. Also guys, if you are playing with another person, you can definitely use the conductor class, as that moves this train at a staggering 100 speed. Alright, so what we're going to do is definitely... Alright, so I'm just going to go to the church here, grab the crucifix and the holy waters, and we'll be able to clear out this town like that. I'm not sure what's going on here, but they are glitched out a little bit. And when you get low health, guys, just... I'm using the vampire class, but you can just melee these guys. Grab your health back in no time. And because there's not many left here, we'll just finish them off with our knife here instead of using the rest of the holy waters that we have. There are quite a few of them stuck at that corner there, but we don't actually... If they get stuck there, we don't need to set them free, you know? 61642. I'll just make our life a bit harder if we set them free. All right, let's see here. So decent amount of bonds. And guys, do get the valuables from the banks here, because what we're going to be doing is purchasing a lot of supplies that'll help us throughout this run, such as snake oils, any rifle ammo or such. And also have a look for the healables in here. They can be very useful, especially as I am using the vampire class, so sunlight does takes a toll on me as a vampire. You know, vampires don't really like the sun. We do have this, but we don't actually need the ammo for that. And one thing with this train that is a bit different to other trains is you can't climb in through the front, which is a little bit annoying, but so you have to go all the way around, but it's okay. That is the first town done, and I think there was about 4 bonds in there. I'm not actually sure, but I will show you guys the number that I end off at. And like always guys, definitely in the night times, just sit in your safe zone, wait until morning, because you don't want to be going out in the night, especially when there's a lot more enemies and it's pretty hard to see unless you have the miner's hat. And there is a werewolf in here, so we'll definitely sell that guy, give us a little bit extra money. All right, let's see how much money we end up off here. All right, so we have a good $290 here. So what I will be doing is getting myself a rifle, and there is a cash bag there that I missed. Guys, always another tip here, if you are selling stuff at the trading post, definitely have a look for any remaining cash bags, because especially when you spam sell, they can get on top of the roof, they can come out to the side like this. And so sometimes, you know, you have any cash bags left. All right, so we'll buy some coal to move off and make sure we have plenty for the next area. And with this, we'll also buy a couple of snake oils with the remaining amounts of money that I have, and I think we can buy one more. Yes, perfect. So we have just perfect amount of money for that. And what we'll do here is leave the holy water there and replace the bandages with the snake oils, because the snake oils are definitely better. It's just the best healing item in this game, to be honest guys. So I'll catch you guys back during when it hits the morning. And we'll see what the next point of interest we find is. All right, it is 4 a.m. now, so we will head off because there's, you know, town is probably not going to spawn in straight away. So we'll definitely get in there during the right times of 5 a.m. onwards. Looks like there's a new enemy over there. Never actually seen those guys before, or they just reskin them. All right, so the first point of interest here is the Fort Constitution, which is probably not the best one to actually start off with, because I think is probably the hardest one, because everyone just has guns and they can just kill you straight away. So we have to definitely play safe here, and we'll have to make sure we keep ourselves top health wise, because we can die any second here. But definitely have a rifle or some sorts, guys, because these guys can ruin your day pretty easily. And definitely have some snake oils as well. Like that, I nearly died there, to be honest, you know. These guys are not to mess around with. You can wallbang them through the window there, so definitely make use of that, guys, because they can be very challenging to fight against. But after you do fight these guys, there is some healing items that you can get in the armory, and this is Captain Prescott, which we're gonna sell him, and we do need his key. But first, I'm just gonna grab all of his ammo and bandages. I'm just gonna top myself up to full HP because I don't really want to be out here with low. So this is his key. We just use this to open here, and here we can grab the bonds, which is about 4 or 5, I think. And with that, make sure you guys do keep Captain Prescott's body. You can leave the rest of them if they're stuck there like that. So you don't want them to be in any more fighting than you need to be. Just collect Captain Prescott's body and put his body on the train and get out as quickly as possible. You don't want to mess with these guys on the horse. Some of them have guns, some of them don't, but we are heading off here. There are some outlaws here as well. You have to be wary, guys. Like I say, this train is very, you know, it has no defense at all. So if I do get the chance and actually remember, I do need to buy like some metal sheets or something like that, because that will help us and save us here. So this is town number 2, and luckily for us, there are 2 banks here. So we're just going to use the rifle, clear these guys out. All right, so we got one of the codes, and we will definitely... This is much more safer, by the way, guys, just clearing the zombies out like this instead of doing the holy water and crucifix strategy. Because at least in this way, take them out one by one, but at least you are nowhere near dying. 52213, and definitely keep your health maxed out. Oops, this guy has a gun. All right, so we'll collect the valuables from here, grab the bonds, make sure there's nothing underneath this guy, and what we'll do is just slap the valuables onto the train here, just in case the next bank has a lot more. I'll actually move the train up a little bit. And now we got to find another man with a code, and there is a silver bar in here and a bond, so we'll grab that, and we'll just clear these last couple zombies out here. And I'll also bandage myself. I can press my number 9 key just so we're on max HP, and what we'll do is just clear these last guys out, and that's it. 32223, 32223. Any zombies inside? Yeah, guys, make sure you always are prepared when you open these bank doors to see if there's any zombies inside, because there can be zombies inside, and you know, they can ruin you, especially if they surprise you. You might just end up dying to them, so definitely be ready for any zombies inside of these banks. And there is a golden statue which we'll take. I don't know why I can't. There we go. And we'll use these to just refuel our train here. All right, that is town 2 number finished. We'll probably won't find another point of interest now, so what I'll do is just top up my health with a bandage and we will move off. Okay, never mind. There is a Tesla lab there, but guys, it is turning nighttime, so what I will do is just wait until the morning before we actually encounter this Tesla lab, because I don't really want to be dealing with a million zombie scientists at this time. Especially how I can't see anything at this time. So what we'll do is just weld all the valuables onto the train here, and once it hits morning, we'll deal with the Tesla lab. And because it's a vampire night, the vampires aren't that strong in this game, and considering I'm a vampire and they've also added sprint, what I will do is just run around so I don't waste any of my rifle ammo, because I am a bit low on rifle ammo and about 30 scientist zombies do spawn. So I'm just going to run around and wait until the morning before these guys despawn, and I'll catch you guys when it hits morning again. Alright, it's finally turning morning here, so what we'll do here is just collect all of the parts for Nikola Tesla here. And by spawning in Nikola Tesla, we get about, I think, 4 or 5 bonds as well, which spawn in just here by his resurrection table. And this will also give us the electrocutioner, which is the most powerful gun in this game, I think. All right, so we just collected all the valuables in that side of the room, and we'll start the event here. Now we wait until this is over. We just have to shoot all the scientist zombies, and we'll collect all the bonds after that. Definitely wait until the zombies get close, guys. That ensures you get the one shot instead of actually having to shoot twice and wasting double the amount of bullets. And also be careful that, because these guys can spawn behind you just within the Tesla lab facility. So definitely have a look behind you here and there, considering they don't really make any noise until they slap you. You can also just grab all the fuel inside of this Tesla lab as well. And be sure, guys, to definitely have some bandages or form of healing, preferably snake oils if you have that. Do not want to get too low here, especially with a lot of speed zombies coming around. You know, you might blink and you might just be dead here. Like, look at this guy. He spawned in behind me. I'm kind of low here, so I will just use a bandage while running around. Make sure you guys stay on the move here. You do not want to get caught off guard and ruin your run. All right, we should be finishing up the Tesla boss spawning in any minute now. And that's the music stopped, so that means we are nearly there. This guy is going to die soon. Oh, sorry, teleport away. And we'll have the electrocution on bonds here. There it is. When that lightning hits, you are good to grab these. But be careful, because there is still a few more zombies that do spawn in after that. But we've collected the bonds, and now we've got the electrocution out. We can get out of here, go to the safe zone, and we'll sell everything that we've gotten from those past point of interest there. Especially, guys, if you are using a vampire class, make sure you guys have a look at your health ever so often, because I know sometimes I play the vampire and I forget I'm actually the vampire. I'm just nearly dead from the sun. So it happens to me, it probably happens to other people. So definitely have a look at that. So we've got $400, which is a good chunk already. We still have quite a bit more stuff to sell here, and then we can get to spending the money. All right, so we have a total of $720. And we are going to be buying a lot of rifle ammo, and also let's rearrange my inventory quickly before we do anything. Let's put the electrocutioner here, and we'll put snake oil here. We don't really need the holy waters in the inventory right now. We'll buy a 4 stacks rifle, and we'll get 2 more. And we'll also grab some coals here. And we'll see if they have any metal sheets, which they don't, but they do have some armor and a miner's helmet, so we will take those, because any pieces of armor I think are pretty useful. It is nighttime now, so like I say, guys, we're gonna stay in this safe zone until morning here. Finally, just snake oils. All right, it is a werewolf night, so luckily for us, we can just sell these guys. Do have a little bit of value to them. Alrighty, so it is 4 AM, so we're gonna head off again. See what the next point of interest we find is. Definitely, guys, when you get the electrocutioner from the Tesla lab, make sure you have that in your hotbar, because this is the most OP gun in the game and basically one-shots everything apart from, I think, the Tesla boss, Goliath boss. But every, you know, like a werewolf, they get one-shotted. All right, so we are at the next point of interest. Well, it's not really a point of interest, but it is just a town. All right, it's quite a big town here, so it's gonna take a little bit to actually clear out, but that is okay. We will pop a snake oil here, just so good on HP. And like I always say, these guys with the armor, definitely use your vampire knife, because it kills them a lot quicker than if you were just using... Okay, we just got an achievement. Yeah, then if you were using a rifle or something like that. So, all right, we've got the code for the bank, and there looks to be only one bank in this whole town. Isn't the best for bonds wise, but it is okay. We will use the electrocution here just to clear these guys out. 15131. All right, no zombies inside of the bank here, and we will collect all the valuables and bonds, and we don't really need to stay here for anything more than that. We're only here for bonds today, so let us go to the train and move off. Look how fast I am while sprinting, by the way. They aren't even going to get close to me. And because I am low, I will add a bandage to that 5th slot there. Pop the bandage, and we are good to go. Guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if this video is helping you out on how to farm bonds. It is really hot in the UK, so, you know, every like, comment, and subscribe, I'll cool off. All right, sometimes you can find a couple bonds in these campsites over here, so we're actually gonna just have a quick look Just make sure you guys shoot the outlaws in here. And once they're dead, you can just have a quick scan around for any bonds. Like this, look, we have one bond in there. There's an elephant gun in there, but we don't really need it, to be honest. We'll grab the ammo for the rifle and we'll move off. It was only one bond, but you know, sometimes you can get a couple, or even more than a couple here. So definitely have a look for those campsites, guys. All right, we just left the 30,000 meter safe zone and we are just approaching the next town, which spawned in pretty close. So luckily for us, we're just going to clear this town out, figure out where the bank is. Gotta make sure this miner guy dies because those guys can be very dangerous. If those dynamite guys get close to you, you might be dead here. Alright, so luckily for us, I'm already seeing more than one bank. And what I'll also do is just group these zombies up and then use the electrocutioner here, which I would say is pretty worth it. 51535. Oh my god. 5135. All right, no zombies in here. Good thing. Collect all the bonds, get all the valuables, and we'll probably figure out where this other person with the code is first. There he is. And what we'll do here is just quickly have a look inside this bank for anything. 34463. Oh my god. Jesus. See that, guys? My run nearly just got finished. I didn't even see that guy. 34463. That would have been bad, guys, if he just ruined my run. I would have started crying. All right, so there's only one bond in here, which is a shame, really. And we'll actually just put everything onto the train for now. And after, we'll have a look if there is any more banks. If there isn't any more banks, then our business here is finished. Let's just put everything here first. All right, that's everything. We'll pop a snake oil and let's go have a look here. Any more banks? There is one more bank, at least over here. We will group these guys up and we'll just kill all of these guys. Quickly have a look at this bank, and I think that is the last bank. Yes, it is. All right, so hopefully we have some decent amount of bonds. 21263, because the previous one had nothing. It had one, but that's basically nothing. There's only one as well. All right, we'll take what we can get, and time to head off, guys. Our business here is finished. We've extracted all the bonds from every bank here. There's no more need for us to stay any longer. Especially these big towns, there's a lot of zombies. And I will pop a snake oil just because I don't have any bandages in the hotbar. And I think we'll probably find another point of interest before we reach the 40,000 meter safe zone, just because we found that town very early into this. So let's have a look if my superstitions are true. There is a unicorn there. Look at that, guys. I had some comments in like the how to complete UFO Easter egg challenge or stuff like that. People are saying they find it hard to find a unicorn, but I see a unicorn basically every game. It's not like I haven't seen one in any game. Look at that. There was like a bunch of 4. All right, we're going to get rid of these guys. We do not want to have any trouble with any outlaws here. This guy's on a unicorn as well. Look at that. So we are just getting pretty lucky. And there is quite a few werewolves over there, but I think after they saw my electrocutioner, they do not want to mess with me anymore. So the next point of interest we have is the castle. Because we have spawned right next to pretty much the safe zone, we could kind of just drag them out into over there. But because we have plenty of snake oils and we also have the electrocutioner at hand, if I can find the entrance, I can just use the electrocutioner pretty much. It is going to turn nighttime any second now, but that is fine for us. Let's just bring these guys together. So what you want to do is just group them up like this and just use the electrocutioner like that. I'll make it so you are efficient with your ammo with the electrocution, because you do only spawn in with 20, and after that you do need to top it up. And to top it up, I would recommend using holy waters, because the lightning rod depends on if there is lightning at the moment. But if there is no lightning, then you can't do it. Alright, so what we'll do, and it is a werewolf night as well, so that's great. They really don't want us to complete this. Alright, so what I'll do actually is just wait at the safe zone during this werewolf night here and just come back during the day, because it can be pretty annoying and all my ammo is just gonna get drained here. So that is what the plan is. So we'll come back during daytime, guys, and then we'll be able to farm all the bonds from there. And meanwhile, we can just sell what we have here and then buy a couple more snake oils and stuff that we need. Alright, we'll let the soldiers deal with the werewolves here. But you got to be careful, guys, because sometimes the soldiers can get overwhelmed by the werewolves and actually kill them, or they run out of ammo. All right, we've got plenty of money now. What we will do here, I'm just going to use these werewolves as fuel, to be honest. But I do think we have plenty of fuel. But I'm going to buy more snake oils. You guys know how much I love this. and also a couple more rifle rounds. We do need some of that, and then we'll be able to clear the castle easily here. All right, so time to head off. We'll go back to the castle, raid that up. We can continue on with our mission. So with the castle, guys, do make sure you guys are prepared for the castle. There's a lot of werewolves here. Have plenty of ammo, have plenty of healings, especially snake oil, because it allows you to be faster than them. But they have also added the sprinting in this game, so you might actually just be faster than them. Just have plenty of ammo, just so you guys, you know, don't get even worried for a second here. Shouldn't be that many more werewolves left, to be honest. Oh, we got stuck on the door. Because there's quite a few of them here, we'll bunch them up. And the electrocutioner. How many more are there? And they did also change it in the update, actually, guys. If you are covered in blood as a vampire, you do get some sort of healing, I think. Are we done yet? Is there any more? Alright, I think we're nearly done here. Just got this last zombie. Alright, cool. So we'll just grab all the valuables and the bonds here. So there's a bond here. Go upstairs in this other room. Take the statues and also some bonds over here. Sure, we grab any ammo that you need as well. There's plenty of ammo here. Finally, or not finally, but bond up on these shelves. And then we've just got this room over here, which should have 1 or 2 bonds, which there they are. And that's it. All right, so we can go back. That's the castle done. All right, let's quickly sell everything we have, and depending on the time, we'll see if we're going to stay in the safe zone or if we're actually going to head off. All right, it's 4 p.m. right now. So we're going to just stay here until the morning because we're not going to risk anything, especially how it's 4 p.m. now. It doesn't give us that much time to actually raid any towns or, you know, the next point of interest. So we're just going to stay here until it hits 5 a.m. again. All right, 4 a.m. Time to head off. We have 12 bullets in the electrocutioner, so if we do get to Stillwater Prison, that should be more than enough to actually kill him. I don't know where this horse just came out of. I'm just going to put him in my sack before he glitches out the whole game and I somehow die to that. So I think the only other point of interest we haven't actually found yet is the Stillwater Prison and the... what's that place called again? Sterling Town. That's what it's called. And of course, we'll be going through every bank still that we find throughout the towns. You know, touch wood. Hopefully I haven't jinxed it, but there hasn't been many outlaws spawning close to the railways, you know, and deciding to all shoot me at the same time, especially how exposed I am. I might have jinxed it. I hope I haven't. So I've had some pretty unfortunate deaths these past videos on deadrails. All right, so we're going to approach the 5th town here. I do see one bank. We'll put the horse just over here in Weldu because we don't want you getting in the way here. And I do see one bank. Is there any more than one bank here? There isn't. Okay, so what we will do is kill him and we'll get the electrocutioner here. Because we do still have a holy water to replenish the ammo. So we don't really need to worry about the ammo on it too much. That's it. 42643. Alright, no zombies inside the bank, and we will collect all of these. Alright, that was a quick pit stop at that town there, and we're already at the next safe zone. So we actually do have time to just head off and continue off to the next town here. So let's do that. Or if the next point of interest spawns in a little bit closer as well, that'll do for us. Preferably the Stillwater Prison. So that is pretty easy to actually beat and complete. Alright, never mind. So our next point of interest is going to be... okay, never mind. They're literally spawned in right next to each other. So first, I will probably do Stillwater Prison. Should I do Stillwater Prison first? Or let me just first drop all the valuables we have. Alright, so what we're going to do is quickly actually... okay, we'll do Sterling first, then Stillwater Prison. At least we can get the Jade Mask as well, actually. And what we can do with that is we can just resurrect the Goliath prison boss. And he'll fight the... what's it called? The Tesla boss at the end. And, you know, in my previous video, we've tested it out. He is stronger. Oops. Let's quickly go through here. And let's try raid at this thing as quickly as possible. Where it hits nighttime here. Alright, we'll get all the valuables, the jade. Alright, that's that. And we need to get 2 more tablets before it turns nighttime. And then after we'll raid Stillwater Prison. Alright, let's put all the tablets here. Let's move this out of the way. Alright, that's everything. We've got the jade sword here as well. And plenty of bonds in here, which we love to see. And we'll collect the jade sword as well. There's a bond here as well. Alright, and now luckily for us, it has just turned nighttime. So what we'll do, and it is looks to be a vampire night. So we're just going to run around, same strategy like we did before the castle. And then after we'll clear Stillwater Prison here. And I will remember to bring Goliath prison boss's body. But to be honest, guys, we don't really need valuables anymore. It's not really a priority because we have plenty of money already. And oh my god, dude, these guys are silent. That's the problem with these enemies. They just come behind you and you don't even know. Guys, get away from me. I'm gonna pop a snake oil. I am pretty low actually. These guys don't want to leave me alone. Okay, Jade Mask will keep you there. There's too many of your vampires. And what we will do is also just use the Electrocutioner here for the Goliath boss. Just to make our life easy. We don't want to, you know, sit there wasting and shooting blunderbuss and rifle ammo into him. So what I will do is just get closer to the entrance. And what I need to do is refill my hotbar here with plenty of snake oils. We'll remove the Jade Sword because we don't actually need that. Alright, so we are ready to tackle Stillwater Prison. So it's turning daytime now. Perfect for us. We will shoot these guys with armor. Make sure you shoot the areas without armor. They do die a lot more quicker than if you were shooting them where they have armor on. Alright, so we'll grab the snake oils. I don't actually remember if there's any bonds in here. And they have a new song, which is pretty cool. And I will hop a snake oil actually. It's pretty cool that they have a new song for Stillwater Prison here. But if you just stay like in this area here and just let them line up, basically are indestructible. So it's hard for them to maneuver around. Alright, so we're just gonna have a look here for any more bonds. I thought there was bonds here that spawned near the blunderbuss, but I guess not. Alright, so we'll just keep having a look around. Before we start the interaction with the Goliath prison boss, we'll just have a look for anything useful that we can find, and we'll definitely take the snake oils. But to be honest, we're looking for some bonds. I might be blind, guys, but let me know in the comments if you guys know where the bonds are, or if there is any bonds at all that spawn at Stillwater Prison. Just having a look around here, doesn't seem to be any, unless it's up in here, except I don't know how to actually get up there. Alright, I don't seem to know where to find where the bonds are. I don't even know if there is any bonds in here, so let me know in the comments, guys, if you know where the bonds are in Stillwater Prison, if there is even any bonds at all. So we're just going to kill the Goliath prison boss quickly, just so we can help out at the end. We're just going to zap him, and he's already dead. Alright, on to the next town. So that is all the point of interest. These guys in the sack. I don't actually know if we've found the town yet. It's for the between 50 to 60,000 meters, but I don't think we have. So, oh, there it is. Speaking of the town, and it is a small town here. So we're going to just quickly clear this out here. Find how many bonds, see how many bonds we can end up getting. All right, there is only one bank in here, but this one bank could have 1 million bonds. You never know. All right, so that is that cleared out. 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4. Any zombies? One zombie in here. Alright, bonds, and to be honest, guys, we are towards the end game, so we're not going to really bother with the valuables here, and we're just going to head off. Just a quick glance through the buildings to see if there's any extra bonds, but it doesn't seem to be so. Oops, and look at that. I forgot to add some fuel into the train. Alright, so we are nearing the end of our journey here. We only have 2 more towns possible to raid, and then we have the final area of Mexico where there is a few bonds in each of the houses, and then after that, just by completing the game, we'll get an extra 10. Make sure you guys stay till the end so you guys can see what I end off with. And just to remind you guys, I did start off here with 90 bonds, so let's see what we finish up with here. Okay, well, I just messed up. I just spawned in the Goliath boss by accident. Well, see you later. The plan of that is ruined, and I just accidentally killed my unicorn. Oh well, but still keep our head high. I will just buy a couple more coal and also some snake oils, and we should be good. Yeah, I kind of forgot I had the Goliath and the Jade Mask right next to each other within my sack, which sucks, but it is what it is. I thought the soldier was shooting at me for a second. Alright, so let's just double check how much snake oil we have. We have plenty. We'll just top that up. Don't need the blunderbuss in there. And what I will do as well is when we get to Mexico, I will reload my Electrocutioner. And for now, we just get some rifle ammo and we can move on to the next town. The second to last town. It's been quite a few vampire nights within this run. And I haven't had one lightning night yet, so I've been dying to lightning quite some considerable amount of times in this game, which I think is pretty unlucky. Some people just call me stupid for actually being out in the open while there's lightning, but no, you don't expect it to hit you, but it does. So we have a big town here. Hopefully we can get some big town, big banks, and a lot of bonds. That's all we're here for. Let us go and scout the area. and we'll have a look at how many banks we can find. So there's already 2, which we will take for sure. And I will pop a snake oil before I die here. That's for that bank, and I think that's only 2 banks in this whole area, but we'll have a look further. That's 46333, 46333. And we don't need any more of the valuables. For some reason, there's a house stuck in between that. There's only 1 bond in there, nothing crazy. Let's have a look inside this house here after we just zap these zombies. 23252, 23252. Alright, good. Couple more bonds in here. We'll take that. And we'll just have a quick final scout of the rest of the town to see if there's any more banks. And unfortunately, that is it. So you guys already know what that means. Time to head back to the train and fly off. Alright, it is 3 p.m. I'm taking a little bit of a risk here. Just past the 70,000 meter safe zone. But the town is right here. So we should be able to loot up the town before it turns nighttime. And hopefully we time it pretty well to reach Mexico just when it turns morning. So I'll pop a snake oil here. There's a lot of zombies, but unfortunately only 1 bank, but that is okay. This bank could have a good chunk of bonds. Some banks have only 1, so I'll be happy with more than 1. And we'll group all of these guys up, and Jesus Christ, I think killing them just lagged my game a little bit. There's too many of them. 3, 1, 5, 5, 6. All right, good amount of bonds in here, guys. That's what I mean. You know, sometimes when there's only 1 bank, there is a lot of bonds. So that is the final town and bank of the game here. So the last and final step of this train journey is going to be Mexico. But we'll probably actually make it there a bit early. So I do need to remember to actually reload the electrocutioner. So I might do that now before it turns nighttime. Yeah, I'll do that now. So in order to reload it, we get a holy water and we just throw it on top of the electrocutioner and then let that hit it, and that will give it a refresh of 20 bullets. All right, there you go. We're back fully loaded and we're ready to beat final area. It does seem to be a normal zombie night, so we'll probably camp outside of Mexico. Oh my god, look how many werewolves there are there. There's like 6 or 5 in this run. There's been quite a few like big chunk spawns of werewolves. Not sure why, but we will definitely leave them alone. We don't want to waste our precious bullets on them. All right, I'm about to die to those guys, but what I do need to do is clear them out here. We don't really want to mess with them. All right, so what we'll do is just run around until morning, and that's when we can fully actually deal with Mexico here. All right, it is just turning night or morning now, so definitely we're going to just make sure the hotbar is filled up with snake oils. We'll push the train a little bit forward and we'll snipe the turret people out. Jesus Christ, that turret just nearly killed me, and my gun doesn't want to shoot for some reason. There we go. All right, I'm 1 HP. I will pop a snake oil, but these horses and turrets are really trying to get me killed here. All right, time to clear these guys out. Also shoot the turret guy in the back there because we do not want him to shoot us. And all of these Mexico outlaws are pretty much nearly dead here. Couple here, also on this side. All right, now that that's over, we can now grab all the bonds in the houses left to right, and we'll be able to complete this run here. And we'll see how many bonds we actually end up with. All right, 3 more houses left. We can get 2 bonds in each house. That would be lovely. Okay, I think, oh, there's 1 bond up there. All right, so we will now start up the timer for the bridge, drink a snake oil, and we'll kill every outlaw, and finally the Tesla boss. All right, there's our 4-minute timer. Let's get rolling here. We'll pop a snake oil. We'll probably actually get on top of this turret. Let's use this. I don't know why the music stopped playing. Might be a bug, but it's fine. We'll add our own intense music. You know, the plan kind of fell through with using the Goliath boss because I accidentally spawned him in earlier, but it's fine. Tesla boss is not going to be able to withstand my electrocutioner. Best gun in the game. When's the Tesla boss coming in? We're waiting for you, Tesla boss. We've got an electrocutioner with your name on it. There he is. All right. We're going to fry you off with the electrocutioner. Gonna die before we even make it to the wall, my friend. There you go. He's dead. Now, we wait 2 minutes and 40 seconds, guys. I will, however, just pop up my snake oils in case I get bombarded by some zombies or outlaws. But it looks like this 2 minute and 20 is going to be smooth sailing here. Well, we've got a minute and, what is that, 50 seconds, and there's pretty much no one else around. Desert wasteland now. Just me with my rifle and electrocutioner and snake oils. Everyone else just decided, nope, we're not going to challenge this guy. He just beat the Tesla boss. We'll leave him be. We'll let him escape. That's basically what they're saying. So we've got a minute 30 seconds here, and I'll tell you guys after, when we get back to the main menu, how many bonds we actually ended up here with. All right, we've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and we should be done. Right, we escaped, guys. So let's see how many bonds we actually ended up here with. So I'll cut back to you when I'm in the main menu. All right, so we have ended off with 211 bonds. Just to remind you guys, I did start off with 90. So with that, we ended up with 121 bonds for this run, guys. So if you guys enjoyed this, and if this has been useful to you, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next deadrails video, guys. Take care.